So how does the lunge step works? Talking about the lunge step, we mean backstabbing with lunge without any other utilities. No dash, no grappler, no clock. Clock, actually you can use it because it doesn't have a momentum, but we will use only lunge vector to do backstab. If you remember our 360 dagger guide, in the 360 we dash through our target and throw a 360 degree backstab along the opposite side of the shoulder. So if you are going through here, you turn around this direction clockwise. If you go around here, you do counterclockwise 360 degrees. Unfortunately, lunge doesn't work with the 360 because lunge vector works around a very limited arc of angle that will not push you far away to reach around here, so you can do a complete 360 backstab. So we'll do the opposite. When we are approaching from here, we'll throw a 180 degree backstab along this direction and we'll throw a clockwise 180 along this direction. Why? Because the thing is, the lunge has a different momentum than dash, and your momentum is unpredictable. It might end up around here, it might end up here, so you just need a slower arc of turn, and not only the turn is enough. By the time you are turning here, you have to carry your momentum with the directional keys to come back around here to do the backstab. Otherwise, your backstab will be like this. You will end up around here. Another thing is the most important factor of the lunge stab. You need additional momentum, and the additional momentum either works with jump or slide. Slide, actually I couldn't still learn the exact timing of the slides. I'm working on it, but the jump works as soon as you release your backstab. You have a period of 30 to 50 milliseconds of period to jump. This jump will carry your momentum farther than till here. Just along with the lunge and jump, you can come over here. But it's a slower arc of momentum compared to dash. So you cannot really use the 360, which will end up around here. You will not be able to reach the target. So you need to do your backstabs little slower and carry your directional key towards the back of the target. I will try to show you. So from this point on, I will try to time my jumps. As soon as I release my backstab, I jump around 30 milliseconds of period, and I will keep my lunge vector around here, and it will carry me further. And we will use this to backstab the targets. It's not easy, it's not really consistent, but with good practice, maybe you can work this out. Another key point, you cannot really approach the targets in a very frontal way. Why? Imagine this. You approach through here and you carry the momentum here. You have a very steep arc of turn to carry with the directional keys. You will use here, you will use the A and W to turn around. Here you will use W and D to turn this around. If you go directly like this, it's very difficult to turn in a short period of time. So you will approach a little oblique, this area, so when you lunge carries you here, you have a glance period to carry your direction to the back of the target. And the same goes here. You have a angle of like this approach. You will try it when it pushes you like this. You have a small period of time to backstab around this period. Okay, so remember, you release your right mouse button, holding the backstab, you jump, and this will carry you forward. The keys are, when you approach it here, you will keep the W key, your frontal momentum, You will release backstab, which is releasing the right mouse button, and immediately jump. So it works like this. It's a bit unpredictable, and it relies on whether you stop the directional movement or not. So I will keep my directional further. I can jump around here. You see, the lunge carried me around and I turn around and backstab it. So the more you come across around here, the more easy to backstab. So approaching targets from sideways, you have a easier time of backstabbing. See, I hit prematurely towards the shoulder. So you got the point. You release your backstab, you keep continue movement, jump, and immediately try to keep continue. So when you start with the W key, backstab, release, jump, you have to start using your here A and W to keep turning. You see, in our normal backstabs, we don't really use the movement keys. We come over here, we pass through the hit scan, and we just release our 360-degree backstab. The turning motion of the mouse is enough here, but in the lunge, mouse is not enough. Turning around is not enough. You have to keep your momentum direction with the movement keys and turn. Same goes here. You come over here, you jump, release, jump, carry the momentum, and you keep turning. Keep turning not only with the mouse but with the keys of direction, because lunge does not work on the direction of the mouse alone. It actually works with your directional movement keys, and it does not change its direction very well. You start with W, it keeps the W direct direction here. By the time you got air, when you are on the air, you can use your directional keys to turn around. This is the key. That's why we are using the jump. Jump will further carry us along with the momentum, but during the jump motion, when you are above the ground, you can use your directional keys to get back to the target. Okay, let's try to show you. Okay, premature. I think this was a legit one, I'm not sure. So this target, you see, it's moving this side. You have to time your backstabs when the target is moving away from you, which is easier. It is coming towards you, turn around and use this area. So it's coming towards me. You see, I used the other way around and the lunge carried me around, but I couldn't time my release quickly enough to backstab the target. So he's moving back. Okay, not successful. I will try again. One more time. Yeah, almost. So you have to practice this. You have to practice. And another key point, use your directional bars around this one left and right. One trick that if you put you see these, there is some loosened bars over here. I try to keep the loosened bars just around the leg of the target. So this is a good directional vector. So if you use this, yeah, if you use this, you will have a better direction vector here, and from here, if you use like this, you will be able to at least approach to the target. Of course, these are not always lunge attacks. It is just with the movement, but when your lunge is activated, you will see this yellow bar becoming gray and empty. Then once you hit the target, it will become active again. practice this. It's not easy, but you get the idea. And after the lunge, you have to carry your momentum with B hops. You have to jump, keep jumping, spam jumping. Jump will carry your movement, and also jump helps to get away of the shots. So we approach this target. You see, lunge carried me around this side, but I kept turning and backstab. I was on the air when I completed my backstab. You see how much it carried me around. From there to there, I was able to hit him. The problem is that moving targets, if it's coming towards you, you might hit the shoulder because your turning point is so narrow. If you approach a little bit sideways, yeah, not always works. Also, approaching from back of the target, you can carry your momentum with space or slides to move around and get away, or just, you know, evade some of the shots. Okay, let's try again. Yes. At least you see the lunge carry me around and give me some momentum. It's not consistent, it's not easy, but with enough practice maybe you can make this work. You see how much it carried me around? The key point is the jump. You can also time your slides. Slide has the advantage of going down, so sometimes when you jump around you will miss your backstabs, but slides has a slower motion, so it gives you a chance to backstab around this area. And actually it is easier to do, but the timing is a bit different than the jump. Jump works about 30 milliseconds after releasing your backstab. Slide, I think it is slightly late than the jump, because lunge does not work during the slide, so you have to time your slides after the lunge motion has started. I think I will release a different video if I can time it correctly. Yes, let's try again. This is just a practice video to get you the idea how to do it. It doesn't work all the time, but if you time your jumps, you can move the map quite erratically. Yes, this is a correct jump. The more you come from sideways, it's easier to do. Why? Because your lunge is carrying you this direction. You can easily backstab. So instead of doing a dash from here, don't spend your dash. If you are approaching, this guy is shooting this guy over there. He hasn't seen you. So instead of carrying the dash and spending your dash, just approach from here and use your lunge momentum. You see what I mean? So we have to use this lunge step method to at least compensate the lack of one dash. If you can one target with the help of lunge, then you have extra 2 dash, which is going to help you a lot. Not every time works, but you get the idea. You got the idea. I hope this helps. Just practice, but don't just engage in the practice map and spend your time here. You know, by the time the season released, I think I spent much of my time in the practice range, and my friends are asking why you don't log into the game and just come along. And I'm saying I'm testing things. I want to find some text and some moments that we can work this out. To be honest, most of these techniques are not my invention. By the help of a lot of Dagger players in the Discord chat, and we tried a lot of things, and most of them discovered cool ideas, and everyone tried their own method, and everybody's still trying to perfectionize it. But I don't know what we will end up. Maybe we'll end up without anything.